As we navigate the complex, confusing, mysterious game of life, it's absolutely inevitable that we're going to fuck things up. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to hurt ourselves. We're going to hurt other people. We're going to step on the rake and hit ourselves in the face. And this is not a bug in the system. This is actually a feature. And in fact, it's one of the necessary tools that actually allows us to transform and allows us to grow. Without the pain and sufferance that comes with fucking things up, we would never really have the impulse to transform, to grow, and to move to higher stages of development. And as I look back on my life, I've made some pretty bad mistakes, some pretty terrible things, and I hold a lot of guilt, I hold a lot of shame, and there's a lot of pain inside of me because of the things that I've done, the things that I've said, the people that I've hurt, the relationships that I fucked up, and the paths that I went down in my life, and the choices that I made. And it's taken me a lot of work, a lot of inner work to sit with and really meet and face those parts of myself and pull up all of the trauma, all of the shame and the pain and the regret, and face all of that unprocessed stuff. And yet in doing so, I've also come to recognize something pretty profound, which is that it's only through those experiences that I really became who I am today. And without those experiences, I would still be uninitiated. I would still be naive. And I would be far more ignorant than I am today. So chances are that you've made similar mistakes, and maybe you've already started to extract the silver lining, and you've been able to piece together the bits of the puzzle and turn those mistakes into something beneficial. I think there's a natural part of the psyche that wants to do that, that needs to do that, because if we don't, we live in depression, we live in regret, we live maybe even in self-loathing. We can't forgive the parts of ourselves that did those things. And some people do get stuck there. So many people, in fact, get stuck there. And, for me, there's still parts of me that get stuck and that are stuck, holding on to that pain and the grief and the regret. But the key word is parts. There's parts of me that are stuck in those places, not the whole me. Because I've been able to recognize that there are parts within me. There's a victim in me. There's a guy who doesn't believe in himself, the guy that takes on more responsibility than was really due to him. And maybe there's parts of you that have struggled to let go, that have struggled to forgive yourself for the things that you've done. And I think the thing that really changed my approach to all of this was really understanding the psychology, understanding why I chose what I chose. And in every situation that I've been able to look back in and to understand and to pull apart and analyze, I've seen that I was acting from the best information that I had in a way that made the most sense at the time. And it's funny because you can't do better than what you are. You can only make certain choices when you're in it. And we're always operating from limited information and from a certain level of development with certain skill sets. And so I think it's really important that we actually give ourselves permission to fail and recognize that in certain situations or at certain points in our life or in certain decisions or environments that we found ourselves in, there wasn't a lot of choice. there wasn't a lot of room to make things go differently or to choose something else, because you were simply doing the best that you could at the time with the skills and the information and the level of development that you were at. And if you were to be taken back into the past when you made those choices and did those things, you would probably do it exactly the same. And it's only with the benefit of hindsight, it's only with the benefit of the pain that we had to go through by experiencing those things do we actually learn how we could do it differently next time. So with that said, I hope this gives you a sense of relief. I hope this gives you a sense of permission to fuck things up, because nobody's got it all figured out. And in fact, it's only through stumbling forwards and stepping on the rake and hurting ourselves or hurting other people that we actually are forced to look at ourselves more deeply. And some people, we need to fuck up a lot. Other people, not so much. Some people need to fuck up an entire lifetime before they wake up, and maybe it's only on their deathbed that they finally realize and look at themselves and take something from those experiences. And maybe some people never do. But don't be that person. Don't be that guy. I think the thing that has helped me the most is really self-reflecting. Looking deeply at oneself. Studying and analyzing your behavior. Looking at it. What is it that makes you make decisions? How do you actually make choices in life? Do you do it unconsciously or do you do it consciously? And I know most of the mistakes that I made in my life were unconscious choices. That was just me reacting to life and the environments and the situations and the people that were around me. And it was only through going through the shit that I actually got to a stage where I started to look at my life more consciously and think, okay, those unconscious choices got me those bad results that I don't want to repeat. How might I make better choices in the future? How do I actually set up my life in a way that gets me the results that I want? And I started asking these kind of questions. And not surprisingly, upon developing a more conscious approach, my life improved enormously in a very short period of time. I was able to build a successful business online. I met and developed my dream relationship with the woman that that blows my mind every single day. We're just so in love, and it's so beautiful and very healthy. And I've been able to evolve myself. I've learnt and transformed myself in pretty much every possible way that I've been able to so far. And really started to have profound insight into the nature of reality and myself. And so my day-to-day lived experience of life has become joyful, peaceful, present, abundant, happy. I'm fucking happy. And if I had said that 4 years ago when I was going through my dark night of the soul, I would have thought, this guy's full of shit, and I wouldn't have believed that it would be possible. And yet here I am today, completely revolutionized, completely transformed from who I was, and I've never looked back. So I hope this resonates with you. If you're in that position of questioning and struggling and beating yourself up and regretting and not being able to forgive yourself, go into those places. Look in the mirror. And the deeper you look, the more gold you will be able to extract from what was, a so-called mistake or a regret or something bad that happened or that you did in your life. There's always a silver lining, and sometimes we have to have the breakdown before we can have the breakthrough. And if it resonates, I've actually built something that could be useful to you. I've created a free AI tool called LifeMap. It actually helps you to map out and analyze the different areas of your life to see where you're strong, which areas are your blind spots. And for me, it was the blind spots that really tripped me up. It was the areas that I didn't know about, which I wasn't focused on, that really shot me in the foot. And if you go through the LifeMap Diagnostic, it only takes about 10 minutes. You'll have a really deep insight into the areas in your life which actually might provide you the highest leverage opportunities to make a huge breakthrough and transformation. And if that resonates with you, just check it out. It's in the link below in the description. And if you want to learn more about that framework that I've developed, the LifeMap framework, you might like to watch this video right here. And that'll teach you much more about the 8 life areas and how you can use the 8 life areas to map out your entire life and figure out the best strategy for winning the game of life.